Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Traxon EQ webinar on our newly launched Allegro XS. My name is Erin Zabelski. I'm the marketing manager for Traxon North America, and I will be the moderator of today's session. Presenting will be Cy Eaton, our Global Solutions Manager, and Anthony Zamparelli, our Product Marketing Manager. And with that, I will turn it over to Cy and Anthony.
Thank you, Erin, and thank you to our live webinar audience for tuning in today for our launch of Allegro Extra Small, which is really a threefer for product launches. So we've got a lot to cover, but we're going to try to do this all in half an hour. But to start us off, let us all remember what media dot lighting products are all about. They are a fantastic solution for providing medium and low res or soft resolution video driven media screens. Dots also can shape and accent architectural forms and contours, and then animated backlighting is another key popular application for media dot style lighting solutions. And going back about 15 years, we give a hat tip to our mesh product, which we released back in 2007 or 2008. And this was where Traxon started with media dot product, this mesh and its standalone string product. And based on the success of that, we then went and expanded both into smaller form factors and closer pixel pitches, such as with our Pixel Board 16 and Pixel Board 64 and media wallpaper, as well as our brighter packages with larger pixel pitches in the Allegro Dot, Arcashape Dot, and ProPoint Pixel families. But as we expanded on our overall dot portfolio, the mesh product was eventually phased out, and that left a bit of a scale gap in terms of resolution and brightness options. So we are really excited to bring in Allegro Dot Extra Small to fill that gap and really create the broadest, most flexible range of dot and pixel controllable media lighting products on the market within one banner. So with that introduction, I'm going to hand it over to Anthony for him to take you through some of the nuts and bolts of this product.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. We're all very excited today to talk to you about the launch of our Allegro XS. So the XS is more than a sum of its parts. As Cy mentioned, this release builds on the history of our original mesh and string product by updating and rethinking the system, leading to a number of patents currently pending actually within the system, and we'll be discussing that shortly. So the Allegro XS is controlled with our proprietary Ethernet protocol, which allows us to easily control the high number of channels that we'll be seeing with this type of product and these types of systems. So the innovations that our team has developed overall simplifies the system architecture and increases the scalability of the product to meet both small scale as well as large scale projects. This includes the power and data distribution system, as well as several standard mounting accessories that are designed to trace a regular architectural surface, adding sparkles to that surface, or creating a large media screen on the side of the building. We're able to accomplish this all within this new Allegro XS product family. So the XS is available in the same flavors as the rest of our Allegro Dot family as we know it today, from color changing to monocolor white, as well as two lens options, a clear lens as well as a diffused dome lens. And while we maintain the same architecture across each of these flavors, the XS can be modified to make it perfect for your installation. So we can get down to a pitch as little as 2 inches and up to 80 dots per string, all the way up to a 20-inch nominal pitch between dots while continuing to maintain that 80 dot daisy chain on that string. And of course, if less dots are needed for a particular project, we can make this adjustment as well. As the name dictates, the XS is quite small, with each dot coming in at about the width of a nickel, as well as about the length, if we want to put it in this fashion, of a quarter and a nickel stacked on top of each other to put it in retrospect. So this small size allows us to increase the density of the number of dots within a given area, of course. And then if we look at the size of the Allegro XS with respect to the rest of our Allegro family, we could see that the XS is about 29% the size of our Allegro Small and about 17% the size of our medium and large for those who are familiar and have touched our Allegro products. And as we referred to previously, with the XS dots and the XS dot strings, we're also introducing a new power and data infrastructure with the patent pending Pixel Distributor Pro 8. This Pixel Distributor Pro 8 takes our Ethernet protocol directly, increasing the number of channels that we can control while delivering it in a smaller, more efficient package that Sai will be discussing right now.
Thank you, Anthony. So to look at this Pixel Distributor Pro 8 system, we have a completely sealed IP67 rated box with power supply and data drivers inside. So it's taking power and data in and outputting combined power and data out to 8 total strings. To put this in retrospect, from our Allegro Small, Medium, Large, where their Pixel Distributor drives a single string apiece, this dramatically simplifies and compacts the building facility impacts and reduces the overall volume of control and power hardware by about 60% and reduces the number of terminations being made in the field by about 90%. A quick look inside the box where the magic is happening. It's one large 30-volt power supply that's shared by all 8 strings. And then, well, this is a lot of wires and whatnot. Let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, here you go. So we have a maintenance control on-off switch, kill switch for the AC input universal voltage power into this one shared power supply that feeds into the logic board. Meanwhile, we're sending ENet data control signals into that logic board as well and daisy chaining out. We can daisy chain up to 10 PDP-8s per ENet universe. And then we're outputting 8 total strings of power and data. So each of these modules can drive up to 640 nodes of individual RGBW control. So quick look at the form factor of this box. It's remarkably compact. And then, here on the side, this on-off kill switch for maintenance, system status, signal light, and then IP67 rated connections for power in, and data out. Looking at the whole system, how that goes together. On the interior, you're going to have your control and network infrastructure. Again, let's simplify this a bit just for ease of understanding. Symphonite controller networked in to Ethernet standard protocol data distribution, both branching off to your media.xs installation and off to other parts of the lighting network. And as mentioned, we can daisy chain up to 10 of these PDP-8s onto a single universe. So that's a total of 6,400 controllable nodes on a space. So we have the strings, we have the PDP-8, and then I told you this is a three-fer. We've also done a lot in terms of updating the mounting options and configurability. So back to Anthony to talk you through those accessories.
So starting with the simplest mounting option is the standard dot clip, which is just a single clip for each of the dots along the string. However, this clip is able to be utilized in multiple ways to simplify the installation. For instance, for straight lines, the clip could be mounted to a DIN rail, or the clips can even be dovetailed together, which allow a very tight pitch between string to string at down to about an inch between nodes on center. Additionally, we've also added an option to utilize 1/16 stainless steel wire with this clip that, again, mounts to each of the dot nodes. And that could be utilized to be installed in a vertical feature or installed horizontally to create a media canopy or for catenary style installations as well. And then lastly, the release of the XS introduces our new universal mounting system. So this high transparency steel grid provides more pitch options over the original mesh generation 1, while ensuring less plastic material ends up in the landfill. The XS clips mount to the stainless steel grid, and then the dots clip right onto those without any effort. And now I will pass it back to Sai again to take you a little bit more through this.
Thank you, Anthony. So yes, just a quick snapshot of some of the data points on this. You can see that we're offering about 8 to 10 standard pitch configurations and 15 to 20% increasing increments to really allow you to dial in the exact resolution and area coverage for your project. And as Anthony mentioned, one of the key features of this is allowing transparency of your media screen. We're going back to one of my favorite project applications, Grand Stade Lille, where we remind you this here is a high resolution video screen. One of its downfalls, it's opaque. From the backside, you have a solid wall, whereas the media lighting solution, you can both have a transparent screen with mid soft resolution and flexibility of pitch. And literally the eye fills in the gaps when you have that spacing of nodes. And now this application is some of our linear media products. So you're fixed in what your resolution and spacing is on one plane, but you can space your dots out along the other. But of course, with Allegro Dot Extra Small, you can control your pitch in both the X and Y directions. So we're looking at soft resolution, mid-intensity kind of media screen solutions. So to illustrate this idea a bit and why we're so excited about the Dot XS with the mesh grid, it really allows you to dial in what your area coverage is, your brightness requirements, and frankly, what your budget considerations might be. So if you need a higher resolution and a lot of brightness for an application, you can go to our tightest or 2-inch by 2-inch nominal spacing. But in other cases, you want a softer, looser resolution. Brightness is less of a priority, or maybe realize some cost savings. You can go to one of our medium range pitches. And if you need additional brightness, this mesh grid system is compatible with Allegro Dot Small, Medium, and Large as well. So you can scale up your installation in that way as well. Doug McDonald and I did a full webinar on media resolution, but we're going to touch on it using, in honor of Doug, the logo for the NHL 2022 National Champions, the Colorado Avalanche. So let's look at this at different resolutions and what we mean when we say being able to dial in the correct pixel resolution of a media application. So if you were to take a graphic, just a JPEG, and scale it down, sometimes those logos pretty quickly fall apart and it just doesn't look very good, very professional. And surprisingly though, when you go to a pixelized solution, again, the eye does some cool magic and fills in a lot of those dots and still gives you that presence, especially if you don't want a hard logo, if you just want that homage of presence. And now, of course, it's not just about an image, it's about video. So let's look at this as it moves through the space. And again, the eye really fills in a lot of the detail and makes this a very magical kind of opportunity. So if you want to learn more about content considerations and resolution considerations, check our YouTube video for that from back in June. And with that, back to Anthony.
So the Allegro.xs is currently live on our website, and on the website you will find all of the product documentation, photometric data, etc., as well as CAD files. And additionally, our team is still working on some additional marketing materials, including a product video that will be available soon, as well as even here we have a sneak peek at an installation guide for the mesh grid, showing the simple details required to install this med grid solution. So these are all additional items and additional materials that will be available on our social media in the short coming weeks.
There is Allegro.extra small with its mounting accessories and its Pixel Distributor Pro 8, and coming at a very important addition to our media dot lineup in concert with our flexible, scalable suite of control solutions, really offering a range of solutions to fit any project demand. So we are excited to see how you each use this product and apply it to your next design. And with that, Aaron, what questions does our audience have for us today?
Thanks, guys. All right, the first question is, can strings of dot be cut to length in the field?
At this moment, field cutting is being reviewed by our team. So we are just finalizing these details as well as the instructions required for this. So just we will provide more insight to this in the coming days.
Okay. If an individual node fails, can it be removed or replaced, or is a full replacement of the string the only option?
The individual dot cannot be replaced in field. These units are wired all together, so it would require the full string.
Okay. Can other types of your dot products be powered via the Pixel Distributor Pro 8?
We are evaluating this right now to improve the current infrastructure of the Allegro dot family. So again, stay tuned for this. As Sai mentioned, the universal mesh mounting system is being expanded to utilize the other dots. So our team is reviewing, adding this feature of the Pixel Distributor Pro for the other dot family as well.
Okay. And sticking with a little bit of the control topic, can this product be controlled via third-party controllers?
This is going to be controlled exclusively by eNet at launch, but if you have a specific project application, please reach out to your local Traxon representative and we can discuss your opportunity. There certainly are some immediate solutions we can offer and some additional control via Ethernet options in the works.
Is the Pixel Distributor available in 1 or 2 output versions for smaller scale or linear installations?
Yes, so in addition to the 8 output Pixel Distributor Pro, our team is reviewing additional size options for smaller quantity of dots. So as I just indicated with regard to the control options, please come to us, speak with your business development manager, and we can work with you to sort out the solution.
All right. Are black cable and node finishes or other customer colors available?
This is a standard modification, so if that is a requirement certainly presented to the team, then we could work with our product team to provide samples of this.
What central control processor options are available?
We have the Core S, the MCE2, and the LCE3, all available as possible control processors depending on the scale of your particular media lighting installation. And we can help you select the right overall system for your project.
I think we touched upon this a little bit, but the question may be a little bit different. Can the string come in other colors or clear?
Yeah, so kind of similar to the black finish option, it is something that we can review. As far as a clear option, it sounds like the intent is to increase the transparency. That is something that we could evaluate and see if we could sort out the best solution in that regard as well.
Awesome. What samples are available to agents? And just sort of a statement, it would be great to see a nominal 2x2 mesh to show.
Right now, there is some traveling samples, as some of you may have already seen with the mesh grid. So please speak to your business development manager. Right now, we do have limited sample availability, but we are looking to improve and increase the availability of these samples. So any immediate project needs, please let us know.
Can we provide rep partners with tools to understand budgeting considerations for various node spacing options?
That is something that we are currently evaluating internally now as a means to be able to help guide with budgeting, knowing that there is certainly a large scale associated with these media screen types of installations. So we are continuing to work with this. Again, if there's any immediate needs, any project information that you're looking at right now, please come to your business development manager immediately, and we'll get working with you immediately to provide what you need.
Awesome. 2 questions in terms of the mesh grid. The first is, can the mesh grid be used with other dot options?
Yes, so the mesh grid is able to be utilized not only with the Allegro XS and the Allegro XS clip, but our team is finalizing the designs for similar clips for the Allegro medium, large, and small. So that will be able to be utilized across the Allegro family.
Okay, and do we offer installation of the mesh grid?
We do not. So installation will need to be done by a third party.
I have one other question, and that seems to be it. So I'll ask that question. I'll give it a few minutes to see if anybody has anything else, and otherwise we will end up wrapping it up. I would say probably the most important question is, when can this product be ordered?
Right now.
So we all like to hear. I'm going to just give it a minute and see if any other questions come in.
One question that came up when we were demoing this product this week had to do with the structural engineering of the mesh grid. While we will provide you with detailed mounting guidance and instructions, each project should have their own licensed structural engineer involved, and they would be the entity responsible for signing off on those particular load options for that particular environment. We can certainly advise and collaborate with them, but that engineer on the project should take the lead role of how this mounts to the building structure.
Thanks for that addition, Cy. I had a few others come through. How is this in daylight viewing?
The clear lens dot, just there on its own, I believe is about 15,000 nits. So this is going to be daylight visible. Now, a particular static image might not be super visible, but with dynamic media moving across, that will be visible to at least some extent. Depending on your direct sunlight exposure and other orientations, we do always recommend doing a small mock-up in situ before proceeding with your specific pitch and brightness selections.
Great. That seems to be all of the questions that we have. So with that, we thank you all for attending.
Sorry, I just saw one more come in. Somebody who is, I guess, enjoying our webinar series is asking, when will our next webinar be, and what will we be launching? And I will say we are going to take a month off for the summer, so we're going to skip August. We'll be back in September with a very exciting addition to our wash portfolio.
Thanks, Cy. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you joining today. Stay tuned for some of the exciting product launches and webinars that we will have planned for the rest of this year. Thanks so much.